Hey, YouTube, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good wherever you are. Let's hit this today. Um, One of the guys that's looking to work with me, talking to him today, you know who you are, my man. I ain't gonna reveal your name just yet until we posting some good shit. But he said something that really resonated with me today. And I asked him, I was like, man, you can work with me, you can work with anybody you want to, but why me? And he said some real shit. He was like, dude, all these other guys can get on here, be lean, be ripped, and they look amazing. He was like, but bro, you started where I am or where I've been. Like you were 300 plus pounds. So you know the struggles that I go through mentally. You know the struggles that I'm going through physically. It's like a lot of those guys, they can't relate. He's like, you're relatable. And I was like, damn. And that's honestly how you build relationships, being relatable to people and stuff. But like I told him, like, bro, what you see on camera is what you're gonna get in real life. So if I give you my direct number, for one, that's a real deal. Because I don't just give my number out to folks, because normally it's a Zoom call and we'll see if we'll be a good fit together. And I told him, I was like, I had one guy just, hey man, I really want to work with you. I resonate with everything you say, but I'm not giving up what I eat. I said, man, I appreciate your time, bro, but we ain't gonna be able to work together. Click. That's how serious I am. And it's like, I'm not, look, life may be beating my ass right now, but I got standards. And that's one thing this gym journey, not gym journey, but this transformation journey taught me, is these standards that you have for yourself, you know. And I'm not dealing with the bullshit. And that's why I encourage folks, because when I tell you I hated the journal, I hated the fucking journal. I hated to do the reading and stuff, but before I go to bed, if I'm not too tired, I try to crack something. One of these books I'm cracking open so I can get a little something on my mind. And then I am journaling. You know, I'm putting down my feelings because, you know, I don't have journal entries for every single day of my journey, but I can look back at those pages and just see what my mindset was, my feelings, you know, how I was looking at things, how I was feeling about things. And I can just see the clear transformation from all of that, not just physically, because physically, yeah, I look amazing, at least to a lot of people. To me, I'm just like, bro, I still got a ways to go because I know exactly how I want to feel. I know exactly how I want to look. And I can tell y'all, when you was over 300 at some point, you gonna have a little bit of loose skin, but that's okay. I used to be ashamed of it, but I don't really give a fuck about it no more because it's my battle scars that shows I did something a lot of people will never experience, right? And not because that they can't, they just simply don't want to, or they don't have the will to keep the discipline and dedication. That's all it is, right? So when I'm going through and I'm reading these pages, man, I was like, damn, I really was thinking like that. And I felt the loneliness. I felt the isolation. I felt the pruning, right? I say the pruning is because God, I feel like he won't take you to it if he can't get you through it. And I walked on a lot of glass, man. I walked on a lot of glass. I touched a lot of fire. And it's like, for life to go the way it went, I mean, it truly molded me to be a more thoughtful person, to me, a better person, because I did have so much at my fingertips. I did take things for granted. I did take blessings for granted. And when God pulled those things away from you because he's trying to reach you, you know, it changes your perspective on a lot of things. And when I asked, like, you know, I asked up, I was like, why me, man? And that really, really dawned on me. It's like, why me, God? Why am I going through all this stuff? And then you have to shift your mindset to why not me? You know, what do I need to improve on to get to the next level? Because there's a new devil for every new level you go to. And maybe I was at a point in my life where I needed to get to the next level, but some things had to fall off. Some things had to hurt me. Some things had to shape and prune me to be ready for the next stage of my life. And I'm okay with that now because I always said on the other side of whatever we go through is going to be beautiful. I'm starting to see how those things I've been seeing it, but it's like now I'm feeling it. It's like I feel the love from people who truly love me. You know, I finally feel that I can accomplish anything. I just got to keep at it. I mean, you're going to have setbacks. Like I told my buddy, like you're going to have setbacks on your journey. You're going to have a day where you fuck some shit up. Okay, bro, you messed up. Get back on track. So I haven't told my new guy yet, but I'm telling the banana bread story. Man, what's the banana bread story? People ask. And I tell people this shit all the time. I was like, guys, I was 2 weeks into the fucking journey. I started on December 8th, December 25th, Christmas, you know. one of the guys in the office, Money Bob, Robert Henson, do one of the best bakers / cooks I've ever met in my life. Cool, humble guy, just an amazing person, right? This man know I love banana bread. He made me a special banana bread with my favorite things in it: blueberries, bananas, and chocolate, dark chocolate chips. So I was like, dang, man, he hooked that shit up for me. So he brought it to my office, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna have one slice. I already, I'm still under my calories for the day. It is what, and at the time I was on 2,400 a day. So I was like, man, I'll be okay. This ain't shit. One slice turned into a whole loaf. When I tell you I felt like shit, not physically, just emotionally and mentally, because it's like, dude, you've been rocking hard for 2 weeks and you fucked it off for a loaf of fucking banana bread. Man, I called Luther. I was like, man, I fucked up, bro. We might have to start over. He's like, what you mean? I was like, man, I ate a whole loaf of banana bread. He's like, bro, it's okay. Just get back on track. I was like, what you mean? He's like, tomorrow, just go back to your regular eating and working out. You'll be cool. He said, yeah. He said, the scale gonna jump up 5 or 6 pounds, if that. He's like, bro, but that's not fat. It's literally just glycogen and water. And it's gonna take a few days to get off you. That's why I say just get back on track. And I gotta say this, guys, getting back on track has really been my saving grace because it allowed me to be consistent. Don't get me wrong. Being in Poland, I've never had like no real setbacks. That was just that one time because I stayed dedicated and disciplined every single day. When I had my refeed or my fuck it days every 90 days, when I say it was a fuck it day, it was a fuck it day. I'm talking about I had got some protein, not protein pasta, but I had got some pasta made of like green beans or whatnot. And I had put some Parmesan cheese, feta cheese, mozzarella cheese on top of the pasta with some salmon chunks and some shrimp in it. I'm sitting here thinking that's a bad meal. And when I weighed it and checked it on my app, it was only 400 and some calories for like probably 200-300 grams. I was like, damn, that's a lot of food for not a lot of calories because of what the shit was made of. So like a big dog, I tried to eat the most of it. Stomach was hurting, got real gassy, all type of shit. But I don't want to say I earned it, but for 90 days, I had been eating super clean. So I felt like, hey, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson do it, so I'm gonna fucking do it. And yeah, the scale jumped up 7 pounds, but 2 days later, I was back down to baseline. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. But the main thing is I got back on track the next day. So whenever you own your journey, whenever you own this journey, there will be setbacks. Don't get it messed up. But how you recover is the fucking key. It's easy to go 2 or 3 days and feel bad for yourself. But if you don't get back on track, you missing the whole boat. I had to learn the resiliency on my journey because I had been hurt. I done walked through glass. I done touched fire. I went through a lot of shit. But the one thing I learned about my fitness journey during the time that I was going through with it, I had to learn to let go. I had to learn to, hey, I'm not in control of anything but me, myself, and I, what I do, what I say, what I think. Because your thoughts are often not even the fucking reality that you're living in. It's just a mixture of your conscience. It's a mixture of your guilt. It's a mixture of everything that you think is going wrong because of what's on you or what's in you, right? And people don't tell you that. And I've said this numerous times, and I'm gonna keep saying this shit. I couldn't go through the shit I was going through at 315 pounds like I did at 200, because I'm telling you, when you go through heartbreak, when you go through losing a job, when you go through losing, family members and all this shit, that stuff in the same year, guys, I went through all of that shit. It hurt. It fucks you up in a major way. But y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this shit, but I think it's the funniest shit in the world because I always said that, and this is what my nana told me, God rest her beautiful soul. Y'all know she recently passed, but I think she always liked me a lot, loved me a lot, because she said, laughter is God's hand on a troubled world. And because I had the gift to make people laugh, she always felt like God favored me in certain ways. I always felt that way too, because honestly, I'm not even supposed to be here. Between a pulmonary embolism, between a bad car wreck in 2012, motorcycle accidents and all type of shit, I'm probably supposed to be in the upper room many times over. But I always looked at it like this: hey man, God don't need me and the devil don't even want me. So I'm here for a reason, and I gotta, find that purpose. And I believe I found my purpose. I love, people think I'm crazy when they just ask, man, how do you do it? I said, I wake up every morning. I go to the gym. I wake up, I pray, I stretch, and I'm very transparent. Like I need to continue to pray more because I don't want to be one of those guys who go through shit and the only one to lean on God when they're going through shit, because that's what I did. When I was going through the toughest time of my life as an adult, I prayed every day, damn near every minute, just to seek God and seek whatever. But then when I started to get this attitude, like everything's gonna be okay, God got me no matter what, my whole purpose was to solidify my relationship with him. So that way, when anything happens to me, I can just be unshaken because I know he got my back. And I've gotten to that point a lot, but also gotten to the point to where this journey taught me it's okay to express how you feel. It's okay to say what you want. It's just how you say it. Because I used to hate the tough conversations. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be a nice guy. Now I have boundaries. Now I will tell you no without an explanation. Now I will just up and leave if I don't want to be there no more. And I won't explain. It's almost a way of finding yourself. It's not even just the confidence now because I'm in shape and I got a great, physique and shit now. That shit don't matter, but it does help. I often hear that phrase, "Oh, you never see someone sad crying in a Ferrari." That's true. No lie. I ain't trying to be vain or nothing, but I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Hey, motherfucker said she don't want to be with me no more. Yeah, it hurt for those first couple months. But then I passed by the mirror one day and was like, damn, I look good with no clothes on. All right, cool, bet. You know, didn't bother me no more as much. And all right, cool. You can't control it. You just move on from there. And God blessed me with an awesome smile with no braces. Ain't never had to have them. God blessed me with a great height of 6'2". But and what's crazy is my posture got so much better because I'm not leaning forward from all that fat no more. I'm no longer 73 inches. I am 74 inches now. I was like, oh shit. So I guess that is true. When you get the weight off of you and you actually get in the way you're supposed to be, your posture improves. So I felt like I gained 4 inches, but I really only gained 1. And fellas, when you do lose all your body fat everywhere, I mean, things tend to get a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being real with you. You ain't got all the fat up there doing what it's doing. Now you got more room, if you get what I'm saying. You can discover parts of female talent that you ain't never been in before because you were so fat. And now that you're not so fat no more, you can go into another lane. You can definitely go into a side of town you ain't never even knew before. Like, damn, I ain't never been on this side of Coochie Town before. That's just what it is, and that's a fact, right? And I absolutely love the leadership that comes along with getting in shape. And I can explain that a little bit easier. A few of my homeboys, damn, man, you look great. Thank you, bro. I used to shy away from those. Like, oh, man, it ain't nothing light work. No, that wasn't light work. That was fucking work. Appreciate it, dog. Yes, nigga, I put in the work. I did everything I was supposed to fucking do. No peps, no weight loss pills, just eating right, hitting the weights, walking, and fucking sleeping, right? And support. Being in a community of folks who trying to do the same thing. I done been in a few group chats with these different groups and stuff. I'm still keeping in touch with people that's probably not in the group no more. And I'm not in one of them no more because I've reached a certain point to where I don't even need to be in there no more. And Luther kicked me out. No love lost. I get it. He's on the bigger and better things anyway. I didn't need that no more. But I'm still tight with my boy Anthony, Trent, Hurd. They still reach out to me and we still converse because we understand that this is a lifelong thing. And what we don't have is a lot of men who's willing to support each other because of the competition. I don't feel like it need to be a competition. For one, it's already less of us than it is of them. Meaning, it's gonna be less lean people than it is fucking fat people. That's just what it is. So because Anthony got an 8-pack designed by Apollo himself, and everybody else trying to get to that level, for that young brother to have the level of maturity and the level of stillness that he have, that's amazing to see. And even me, I'm 30-something years old, 37 years old, about to be 38. I wish I could have been at his maturity mentally at his age, because God knows where I would be now, but everything is in God's timing. He's walking a different path, but man walking into his path with a killer fucking 12-pack. And can't nobody take that away from him because he put in the work. And for me, I'm going to put in the work. I'm not going to who gives a fuck about a setback? Setback for a major comeback. I'll be down a day, but I ain't going to be down for no 2 or 3 or 4, 5 or 6 or 7. No, we still going to hit that gym. We still going to get in them steps. We still going to walk uphill. We still going to do everything we need to do because that's what we do to pour into ourselves. That's what I do to pour into me. Because if I if I ain't got shit to pour from, what am I gonna give you? Right? And I'm at this point in my life, this journey also taught me everybody can't have access to me no more. That's just what it is. When I get text messages, if I respond, that means I fuck with you. But most times I get text messages from people, I don't really respond no more. I don't, because everybody can't have that kind of access to me no more. You just can't, because I had to make a decision. And that decision was, I need to put me first. Just like that. So, big fella, while you own this journey, you have to find that middle ground of the confidence and the arrogance, because when you start to look good and when you start to get them compliments and you start to get the hate, you gonna notice the hate before you notice the genuine desire, because men gonna treat you different. Some men gonna give you that respect, other ones gonna say little slick comments like, and I've heard a few of, man, I wish I had time to, what was it? It wasn't I wish I had time. It was, oh man, I wish I was, I wish I would have joined the army and had, get my little not severance, but get my little monthly stuff and ain't have to worry about working. I'd be in the gym 2 hours a day too, but some of us got to go to work and all this other shit. I used to just laugh it off and not say shit. Oh no, I say shit now. And I just be like, well, damn, that's cool, because I just came from a place where I was working 12 hours a day and I was still thousands of miles away from my kids. And I was still thousands of miles away from my parents and my siblings. But guess what I did? I still made time to talk to everybody. I still got up and went to the gym at 4 a.m. The difference is between you and me is that I made the sacrifices needed in order to get to where I wanted to go. And I was like, and judging by that beer you drinking, I mean, Dos Equis, I know it tastes good, but that shit's sitting around your belly, bruh. Oh, so what you trying to say? Well, I already said it. I'm not different than you. I just made better decisions than you. I made decisions that required sacrifice, right? And my sacrifices were actually easier than what I thought they would be. It wasn't no bullshit about, oh, well, I'm not sacrificing my poker nights or no shit like that. Bro, who gives a fuck about a poker night? Do you want to get to your physical goals or not? Do you want to be able to sleep without that CPAP? Because I can tell you now, getting my shit together was the best investment I ever did for me, because I don't have to wear that fucking CPAP no more. That means I'm not waking up with a headache because I'm snoring like a motherfucker, and I don't need it. But y'all don't have, I can't tell y'all some of these stories on this platform. Like, if you get a chance to know me and come to my program, I tell y'all these stories on a more personal level, because you're like, dang, that's some fucked up shit. But it's the reason why I'm so glad I ain't gotta wear that CPAP no more, because when you got a whole bunch of fat around your neck and your face, it restricts your airways. It's just a lot of science behind it. But I was finally not able to sleep with my CPAP when I hit 225 pounds, which was back in March 28th. And when I noticed I wasn't waking up with headaches no more, I never wanted to go back to it. And it's a great feeling. So whenever this journey gets to the point where you start to feel yourself, I need you to embrace that shit. Straight up, you need to embrace it, because you're making the changes needed to be a better you, to live in that truth. It's like, like I told people, man, I went through some shit. I went through the heartbreak. I went through all of that. It hurt in the initial stages, but now, okay, cool. It is what it is. I know I won't be down long if I ever decide to do whatever I need to do, and by meaning that, what I mean by that is I won't be down long in the fact that my emotions and how I felt about the situation will keep me from making better decisions moving forward, right? Because when you in that state, you in a state of shock, you're in a state of hurt, you're in a state of pain. That's why I'm so glad I was on that journey. I got all my tears out already. I lifted them shits away. And then you walk into, motherfucker say they don't never cry in a Ferrari, but damn, motherfucker can't be mad when you got a 6-pack. Well, mine's like a 4.6 pack. Well, 4.5 6-pack right now, but it's almost there. The lower part is the hardest to get rid of, because that's the lower back and the lower stomach. That's the last to go on any man, because that's the part that's holding on the most. And the fact that, that bubble continues to keep shrinking and shrinking, I'm just patient. I just gotta let time do its magic. You know, I can control what I eat. I just can't control time. I just gotta stay consistent at getting in my steps, walking uphill after my workout, and just keeping the shit moving from there. And you just stack weeks. Cause these weeks go by fast, especially when you in the gym in the mornings, your weeks go by fast. They just do. I already know. Well, right now is what, 9:20. I'm already knowing in 7 hours I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna pray real quick. I'm gonna put on my watch immediately before I take a step because I want all of my steps to be accounted for the day. I'm gonna put my watch on. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna let that dog out. Let him run around, pee, do whatever he need to do. I'm gonna be down there stretching. I'm gonna be stretching my arms and my back because tomorrow is back and I go crazy with the back. Slower reps, controlled reps, you know, really making that muscle work instead of just doing them fast to get to a number. Nah, bro, I'm actually maximizing my workouts. It may take a little bit longer, but I'm hitting them reps and I'm hitting them slow and controlled. And I love it. It's painful, but I fucking love it. And like I said, I'm a stretch. I'm gonna have me a strong black cup of coffee, no sugar, no nothing, just black coffee. I'm gonna have my banana. I'm gonna have 2 rice cakes at 35 calories each. And I'm gonna sprinkle 5 grams of honey on each of them motherfuckers. And once I do that, you know, I'm gonna eat it pretty quick. I'm gonna let everything digest, do what it gotta do. While it's digesting, I'm gonna be stretching. And while I'm stretching, I'm gonna be moving my body. And I always knock out 20 push-ups. After my stretch, I'm gonna go brush my teeth. I'm gonna go use my little mouthwash, and I'm gonna walk my ass to the gym. I'm gonna be listening to I may listen to a podcast, or I may just listen to some Rick Ross. I don't know. But I'm going to walk my ass to the gym. I'm gonna stretch a little bit more, and I'm gonna put in some fucking work. I'm gonna put the workouts on the app, Everfit. I'm gonna look at the Everfit, and I'm gonna just let it do its thing. Mark down my reps, mark down everything I need, see the workouts that I need to do for the day. If I got more time or I feel like I need to do more, I add in 2 or 3 more exercises. And then when that's done, I'm gonna hop on that treadmill. And when I'm done on that treadmill, I'm gonna walk my ass back home. I'm gonna let the dog out again. I'm gonna feed him. I'm gonna take my protein shake. I'm gonna eat my blueberries and my walnuts. And then I'm gonna prepare my lunch and dinner for the day. And then I'm gonna go about my day like I need to. Go take my boy to school, get him back so I can go to the DMV for him, get his stuff. And we're just gonna have a hell of a day. You know, I got a lot more planning to do because I know where I wanna take ACA, Atlas Creed Athletics. I know right now it's small. I know right now I'm not gonna blow up as big because I'm not on social media with my shirt off doing all these things right now. But I feel like it's a time and place for that. And there are certain things I want to have under my belt before I do that. Not the physical part, I'm good on that. But the things I'm doing behind the scenes right now, I want all that shit together before this full launch come January 1st. And then once January 1st, 2027 hit, that's when I feel it's going to be, okay, now it's full on assault. Now I can wear my brand everywhere I go. Now I can do these things. I can show these guys. I can continue to lead, right? And that's one thing I want to say about leading. Like when you in shape, guys, and this is a fact. When women see that you in shape and they looking around and they see everybody else is cooked, obviously you're going to be the outlier. You're going to be the different one. Like, damn, so he can lead himself. For one, and I was at the golf course. And I know that's what she was thinking. Damn, he could lead himself because everybody else around me was cooked. Maybe 1 or 2 other people was lean, but everybody else, when I tell you they was cooked, bro, they was cooked. When the wind blow on them, they all fat and shit. So at that point, they just got to live it what it is. But women see that if you lead yourself, you can lead them. And the only way you're going to be able to lead them is if you do what you got to do, you stay resilient, hit them workouts, eat your meals, and don't play them fucking away games.